Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, another week with 5 days, a chance to look at 5 more books of the Bible, putting a summary together with a memorable verse and a practical application for each book. Doing it all in 4 minutes, sometimes closer to 5. Now today, in order, by the way, if you've missed the earlier ones, just get on YouTube. You can find them there. Today, the book of Lamentations. Lamentations is a book that helps you find hope in the midst of sorrow. Now, you know, with all that's going on in the world, the problems in the Middle East, the problems in Ukraine, the problems in other places as well, it's not hard for us to imagine a city that's in ruins. I mean, smoke rising from smoldering buildings, streets littered with debris. This is the backdrop of one of the Bible's most emotionally charged books, the book of Lamentations. But amidst the despair that's in this book, there's a glimmer of hope that shines through. And I want to explore that with you briefly. The ancient text speaks in this way to our modern struggles in this world, and it offers us a good path forward in faith and trust. So first, let's look at a summary of the book, and the book could be summarized as a poet's cry of anguish. This is a book of poetry, ancient Hebrew poetry, and in it you've got a collection of really what are 5 basic poems. They're traditionally attributed to the prophet Jeremiah, who we looked at a week ago talking about his book, Jeremiah. But these poetic laments, and that's why it's called Lamentations, they are laments. They mourn the destruction of Jerusalem, which the Babylonians finished doing in about 586 BCE. The author vividly describes the city's fall and all of the suffering of the people and the spiritual crisis. I mean, this was real. This really happened. And yet, even in that darkest hour, the poet clings to faith in God's mercy and the possibility of a restoration. Which brings me to my second point. A memorable verse out of Lamentations. Now, if you're going to memorize one verse out of Lamentations, let me suggest it be Lamentations 3, verses 22 and 23. So I guess that's memorizing 2 verses. But it's in the heart of this sorrowful book where you find, because of the Lord's love, the Lord's, I think it says great love, we are not consumed. For his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. We used to sing, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. This verse reminds us that even in the deepest pain, God's love and compassion are constant, and they renew us each day, and they give us what we need to make it through that day. So let me bring this to a close by urging a practical application, and that is how to find purpose in pain. Because Lamentations teaches us a valuable lesson. Number one, it's okay to acknowledge your pain. The author doesn't shy away from expressing grief. It's okay to be honest with your struggles. And then number 2, remember God's faithfulness and get others to remind you of his faithfulness. Recall his past mercies to find hope in current problems. And then finally, 3, use that suffering as a catalyst for growth. Do any self-examination you need to. Do any repentance you need to do. Show how, let difficulty show you how you can find a positive change in life. So in conclusion, Lamentations is a great book that offers us, even in a world of ruins, hope from the ashes. And that's why I give it to you in your video thought for today.